Hello everyone, welcome to today's lesson on solving equations with the unknown on both sides. Okay, so following on from last lesson where we were solving equations containing brackets. Alright, so here's the starter then, just a quick recap on solving equations. Okay, so we'll need to be able to use these skills in today's lesson. So press pause, have a go at the questions and press play when you're ready, please. Okay, welcome back. So the answers then, all right, I'm just going to redo them over on this side. Okay, so 6x plus 2 equals 26. So remember, solve, it just means find the value of, doesn't it? So we need to find the value of x by working backwards. So plus 2 becomes minus 2. All right, so 6x will equal 26 minus 2, which is 24. And then 6x means to times by 6, so we divide instead. So how many 6s in 24 is 4, x equals 4. Okay, and if you double check that, 6 times 4 is 24, 24 plus 2 is 26. Job done. Okay, question 2, similar sort of thing, just a normal two-step equation. So 7w minus 4 equals 31. Okay, so the inverse of minus 4 is to add, which gives us 7w equals 35. Then the inverse of times in by 7 is to divide. So how many 7s in 35 is 5. W equals 5. Okay, 7 5s is 35. Take away 4 does give you 31. All right. And then for number 3, similar to what we did in last lesson, you've watched that video. Okay, we are just expanding the bracket first and then solving afterwards. So if we expand the bracket, we get 3x minus 3, because 3 times x is 3x, look, and 3 times minus 1 is minus 3, equals 12, and then we follow the same steps. So the inverse of take away 3 is to add, so we get 3x equals 15, and then the inverse of times by 3 is to divide, so how many 3's in 15 is 5. Okay, if we substitute that back in to check that it works, if x is 5, 5 take away 1 is 4, 3 times 4 is 12, that's definitely right. Okay. Okay, just put this down then, all right? So we need to be able to solve equations with unknowns on both sides. Okay, so press pause, copy that down, press play when you're ready. Right, welcome back then. So I'm going to do 4 examples, all right? So first example, okay, press pause and copy these 2 down, and then press play when you're ready to go through the answers. To work through them together is what I mean. So we've got 6x minus 4 equals 2x plus 8. So the reason it's called the unknown on both sides is because the unknown is the x. Okay, that's the value that we don't know, isn't it? We don't know what x is at the moment. And there's an x on both sides it equals. Okay, so that's why it's called unknown on both sides. Right? I'm just going to rewrite this over here where there's a bit more space for workings. Okay, so we've got 6x minus 4 on one side and 2x plus 8 on the other side, and they're equal to each other. Okay, so step 1 in all of these questions, okay, is looking at the unknowns. All we're going to do is we're going to do the inverse of the smallest unknown. So we're going to get rid of the smallest unknown. Okay, so we've got 6x on this side, okay, and we've got 2x on this side. Well, obviously 2x is the smallest, isn't it? Okay, so we're going to take away 2x from both sides. Okay, because this is a plus 2x at the moment, but the inverse is subtract, isn't it? Okay, now when we take 2x away, remember we can only take x's away from anything else that's got an x in there. So the only 2 terms that are going to be affected in this first step is the 2x here and the 6x here. Okay, the minus 4 and the plus 8, they're going to stay the same for now. Okay, so if I take 2x away from the 6x here, I get 4x. Okay, so I get 4x minus 4 equals, now here, this 2x, I'm taking it away, look. So that 2x minus 2x gives you 0, didn't it? So all you've got left is 8, because 0 plus 8 is 8, isn't it? Okay, so that first step is important. You get rid of the smallest x, but it only affects the 2 terms that have got x's in them. Okay, so 6x minus 2x is now 4x. This minus 4 has to stay the same, because it hasn't got an x in it, has it? This 2x, take away 2x is 0, and then this 8 stays the same because it hasn't got an x in there. So if you get that first step right, we've just got a normal 2-step equation now. Okay, so the inverse of taking away 4 is to add 4. So we're saying 4x equals 12, and then the inverse of times in by 4 is to divide, so x must equal 3. Okay, so that would be the answer for number 1. So if x is 3, let's just double check, okay? Because remember, these two need to be equal to each other, don't they? So 6 times by 3 is 18, yeah? 18 take away 4 is 14. And on this side, 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 8 is 14. So they are equal to each other. So x is most definitely 3. Okay, let's do the next one in a different color then. So for this one now, 3x plus 1 equals 2x plus 4. Okay, so we've got an x on this side and an x on this side. 2x is the smallest one. It's positive at the moment, so we're going to do the inverse. Okay, so that's only going to affect the 3x and the 2x. The 1 and the 4 will stay the same. So 3x take away 2x is just x, isn't it? Okay, the plus 1 stays the same. This 2x now has become 0, hasn't it? So 0 plus 4 is 4. So from here then, x plus 1 equals 4. Well, the opposite of adding 1 is to subtract. Don't know what happened there. Okay. And then that means x must equal 3 again. It's just a coincidence, obviously, that it's 3 again, but let's just double check. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 4 is 10. So they're equal to each other. That's the correct answer. Okay, 2 more, just to make sure that we've got enough practice before you try some yourself. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite there. 11x plus 5 equals 9x plus 21. Okay, so there's an x on both sides. The smallest x is the 9, so we're going to subtract 9x from both sides. Okay, so 11x minus 9x, that's 2x, plus 5 stays the same. This became 0, didn't it? Because we've taken it away. 0 plus 21 is 21. So we've got our two-step equation now. Inverse of add 5 is to subtract. So 2x equals 21 minus 5. Well, that's 16. Remember, 2x means times by 2. So we do the inverse and we divide. So half of 16 is 8. X equals 8. Let's double check. So if x is 8, okay, 11 times by 8 is 88. Plus 5 is 93. And on this side, if x is 8, 9 times 8 is 72. 72 plus 21 is 93. So we're good. X definitely equals 8. Next one. So 4 plus 11x equals x plus 9. So the order that this is written is slightly different this time, but we still work it out in exactly the same way, so don't let that confuse you. Okay, we've got 1x on this side, 11x on this side. The 1x is the smallest, so we subtract it. Okay, so on this side now, the 4 stays the same. Okay, 11x minus x is now 10x, isn't it? This x became 0, plus 9 is 9. Okay, now we're trying to work backwards to find x, aren't we? So in this case now, this 4 here is a positive 4 because there's no symbol in front of it, isn't it? So the opposite, the inverse of adding 4, is to subtract 4. Okay, so we get 10x equals 9 minus 4, which is 5. And so many people would be tempted now to say that x equals 2, but 2 times 10 is not 5, is it? So x is not 2. All right, this means 10x, remember, means times by 10. Well, the opposite is to divide by 10. So we're not doing 10 divided by 5. We're doing 5 divided by 10. Okay, so 5 divided by 10 is 0.5. All right, and then let's just double check. If x is 0.5, okay, 11 times by 0.5 is 5.5, and 4 plus 5.5 is 9.5. Okay, on the other side, if x is 0.5, 0.5 plus 9 is 9.5. It works. That's the correct answer. Okay, so just follow the steps each time. Right, on to the main task then. So here are the questions that I want you to solve. All right, so do it in exactly the same way. use the examples you've just copied down. So press pause, have a go, and then press play, please, when you're ready to go through these answers. Okay, welcome back then. I'm just going to show you the answers now. So here are the answers, okay, for those questions. So take a bit of time to look through now, mark the ones that you've done, and double check, and then press play when you're ready for the checking question. Okay, welcome back then. So the checking question is nothing too complicated. It's just combining the last two lessons. Okay, so solving equations with brackets and solving equations with unknowns on both sides, which is this video. Okay, so I want you to press pause. I'll give you a bit of a clue, and that is to expand both of the brackets first. Okay, so press pause, have a go, and then press play when you're ready to go through, please. Okay, welcome back then. So to solve this checking question, we just need to expand the brackets first. Okay, that's always our first step. So if we expand the bracket on this side, 2 times by 3x will give us 6x, and 2 times by 4 will give us 8. Okay, then we've got the equal sign. Then when we expand this bracket, look, 2 times 4x, that's 8x, and 2 times minus 1, minus 2. So just by expanding both of those brackets, we've now got an equation with x on both sides, like we've just done for the rest of this video. Okay, so we get rid of the smallest x, don't we? So we've got 6x here, and we've got 8x here. Well, 6x is definitely the smallest. It's positive at the moment, so the inverse is minus. Okay, so if I take 6x away there, I get 0. 0 plus 8 is still 8. If I take 6x away here, 8x take away 6x gives me 2x, doesn't it? And that minus 2 will have to stay as it is. Now we're solving the equation, look. Don't confuse because it's written the other way around, okay? If you want, you can rewrite it. So that's the same as writing it that way, look. Or leave it as it is. It makes no real difference, okay? Most people will probably find it easier to do it this way though, okay? So I'll do it this way, and I'll go back and do it this way just to show you that it's the same answer. So if you wanted to rewrite it like this, 2x minus 2 equals 8. The inverse of minus 2 is to add, isn't it? So we get 2x equals 10. So 2 times by x, we now divide by 2 because that's the inverse. X would equal 5. Okay? Leaving it in this, this order here, look, we'd still be doing exactly the same thing. All right? We would still be adding 2 to both sides because this minus 2 inverse is plus 2, isn't it? So we would get 10 equals 2x, and then we would still be dividing by 2, okay, because this means times by 2, so we do the inverse. So we would get 5 equals x, and obviously 5 equals x and x equals 5, they mean the same thing. Okay, and then let's just double check. Okay, always good to double check that works. These two sides need to be equal to each other, don't they? So if x is 5, right, this bracket would be 3 times 5, yeah, which is 15, plus 4, which is 19. 2 times by 19 is 38. So then same on the other side. If x is 5, then this is 4 times 5, which is 20. 20 minus 1 is 19. 2 times 19 is still 38. So it's right. Okay, so that is how you would answer questions with the unknown on both sides. Thanks very much.